Hi everyone, it is Tiffany. I am starting this video in order to help explain my reasons for wanting to do weight loss surgery. There's 3 different surgeries. I'm not saying one's right or wrong, I'm just saying what I'm choosing and what's for me. As a registered nurse, and I will put in the disclaimer that nothing I say in these videos is medical advice. Always talk to a medical professional. I'm just stating that I'm a registered nurse just so that you can understand that I know the consequences and the pros and cons, and they're very well researched. So, of course, I learned about weight loss surgery in nursing school, as well as I have several friends and family members that have had it. These are the 3 different surgeries. They have lap band. Lap band is where they take, for lack of better description, they take kind of like a, well, I guess it's not kind of, it is a band that goes around and kind of they they kind of connect it together around the top part of your stomach in order to make a pouch maybe around like the size of an egg or a golf ball. That's just to help kind of like minimize your how much you want to eat. It then has a little port that goes to right underneath your skin, and that way they can add saline in and out of that band in order to make your band tighter or looser. The second one is the gastric sleeve, which is the one that I'm looking to get. I'll explain more about that. And then the last one is the roux, and that is more of what you hear to be, you hear people say gastric bypass surgery. That's what they mean. Basically, they take a little pouch of your stomach at the top, disconnect it from the rest of your stomach, take your intestines, connect it to that pouch. That's a short explanation. There's a lot more to it and other connections. It's actually connected in 2 different areas, and but Google it, you can find it. I don't know as much about it because that's not the route I'm choosing. I am choosing the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, also just known as the sleeve, or if you want to search it, just search VSG or hashtag VSG on Instagram, and you can find a lot more about it. But the way it works is they take your stomach and they take a good portion of your stomach. I think it's around like 2/3 of your stomach, and they leave like a banana size little sleeve, and that's why they call it the sleeve. But they leave that part. It's still connected to your esophagus and it's still connected to your intestines, so you have normal digestion, but by removing this outer patch of the stomach, you actually help reduce some of those hormones that cause you to be hungry, and also you're reducing the pouch of the stomach, so that restricts how much food you can take in. So those are the difference between the 3, and again, the sleeve is the one I'm going for. I won't go into a lot more detail. There's lots of research on the internet. You can find more about it. People always ask about complications. Yes, just like any surgery, there are risks of complications. Things can happen. They do it laparoscopic, but I believe it said that there's less chance of something happening than it would be even for a gallbladder surgery, which is very common. So one of the things that I just wanted to talk about today is that I have already mentioned to several people that this is something that I'm checking into. And some people have been great. Some people have said, that's awesome. You do what makes you happy. I support you 100%. I trust your decision. There's also been people, even people in the medical field, that have said, well, if it's just your PCOS that's making you this way, have you tried this or have you tried that, or you done this and done that? I have dealt with PCOS for 17 years. 17 years. And I really didn't get it diagnosed until 6 years ago. So, it took almost 11 years after the first symptom for me to get diagnosed. So, anyway, so yeah, I've tried everything. I've also had people say, well, if that's what you think is right for you, and you could tell, let's face it, people, let's face it. All of y'all know when people say, well, I mean, if you think that's right for you, that's their lack of support. You know, they may try to be supportive, and maybe it's just because they don't understand. So that's why I'm doing this video. I'm not saying you have to agree with it. I just want you to understand my decision. And if anybody else is watching this that's not my friend or family member, and you want to share this video with anyone that you feel like that they need a better explanation of why I'm doing this, feel free to. So first, I'm going to say I have polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, as you hear people call it. Some people understand it, some people don't. Basically, there's several criteria that you can meet to be diagnosed with this. I actually have all three of the main ones. There are several symptoms, and just to name a few: male pattern baldness, weight gain, inability to lose weight, irregular menstrual periods, infertility, insulin resistance, high testosterone, low sex drive. Seems like I'm missing one. Can't remember. Did I say like extra hair, like facial hair? Anyway, there's a lot of them. A lot of people out there have PCOS. I know people that have PCOS that I would have never guessed it, because to me, because it's been such a forefront for me in my life, my biggest signs are the irregular cycles, the facial hair. It's been awful. It's not as bad right now, but I've had to go get surgery for it, and it's starting to come back again. My weight gain and inability to lose weight. I know people that have PCOS, they're able to take this or take that. They barely even, they're basically what you would call in remission. That's where I want to be. I want to be in remission. I am like your textbook, every single symptom. I have every single symptom of PCOS. Probably had 2 or 3 doctors say I'm the worst case PCOS they've seen. So to answer these questions, yes, I've been to lots of doctors, several doctors, changed doctors because they weren't hearing what I was saying. It was just, oh, you need to diet and exercise, nothing's wrong with you. And then finally, when another doctor diagnosed me, and I brought the results back, you know, their only answer was, oh yeah, they're right, you have PCOS, and here's what you need to treat it. That's what it took to get them to hear me. So needless to say, I left that doctor and went to another one. But you have to be an advocate for your own health. I mean, it took almost 11 years to get diagnosed. We're a very active family. We love to go. We love to be outside. So, and actually, I like to exercise. It's fun to me. I know, call me crazy. I like healthy food. I don't always eat it. I eat junk. I like to be lazy too, but you know, I'm pretty well rounded. I'm not somebody that just sits around and watches TV or, you know, what have you. So anyway, so yeah, I got diagnosed. I tried metformin, several different doses, did nothing for me. I tried something else. I can't think of the name of it right now. Nothing for me. I've been on several pills. Some of them do pretty good to regulate me. I found some, though, that I still have breakthrough bleeding, and, you know, the side effects of them make me feel awful. So, and I'm already struggling with weight gain. Then you get on birth control, and it also causes weight gain. So, but I'll save all the extra details. I mean, there is a lot going on with PCOS that people have no idea. They don't know the struggle. They don't understand what it's like to feel diseased, for lack of a better word. I mean, some areas of it cause you to not feel like a woman, and then some areas it's so bad, certain things, that it basically makes you just want to lay in bed. So that's another video for another time. I definitely will do that video with a disclaimer for the men that want to walk away. But I mean, it's been awful. And again, you know, I've had people say, well, why can't you just do this or why can't you do that? Trust me, 17 years I've tried it. One time in 17 years, I've been able to lose weight. I lost 63 pounds, but I'll just go ahead and tell you, I was working night shift at the hospital right after graduating nursing school. My husband and I were kind of having some difficulties. A lot of it, he was going through some issues. He had had some family members pass away, a friend get killed on the line of duty. There was a lot of stuff going on with him. I was starting a new job. We both just had some stuff going on. So between working night shift and those stresses, I could honestly say that I was basically starving myself. That's how I lost 63 pounds. I would leave after a 12-hour shift, go to the gym, ride 10 miles on the bike, come home, sleep an hour or two, and not be able to sleep anymore because of the stress. Get up, go walk. If I didn't work that night, I would go run at night, get up, do the same thing. There were some days I probably exercised like 4 hours a day and didn't put a bite of food in my mouth. By far the most unhealthy thing I've ever done. It's the only way I've ever been able to lose weight since I've had this. Any other time, I think the most I lost maybe one time was 20 pounds, and even keeping steady on that same diet gained every pound back. You know, it's the craziest thing I've ever dealt with ever. Fast forward after that weight loss, life got better because God's awesome, and you know, we gave our life back to Him and our marriage to Him, and you know, things are just, I can't even tell you how great they are. They're awesome. But the problem is, after I did that to my body and already dealing with the struggles of PCOS, I then go to a doctor. I don't know all the tests, so please don't judge me or no mean comments about what I'm about to say. But in so many words, the doctors, not so many words, her words were, you basically, between your polycystic ovary syndrome and the whole little stint, the starvation stint that I did, and mainly the polycystic ovary syndrome, have just wreaked havoc on your body. You pretty much have no metabolism. So, not to say that I have, you know, I say that she says I have no metabolism, I have zero. I don't think she literally meant I had zero, because that would freak me out, but basically some of the lowest that she had seen. So, you know, every time I turn around, people are trying to sell me weight loss pills, weight loss shakes. I've tried them all. I even went to this crazy, wasn't even a doctor, I don't even know if she was a nurse, to be honest, but there was this crazy fad in town where they staple the inside of your ear, like right in this area. It's supposedly on each side of this little spot. When they put the staple in, it was supposed to, like, I guess like pressure points and to help you. Tried it. Like, when I say that I've tried it, I've tried diet pills, I've tried over-the-counter prescription shakes, Weight Watchers, I've tried Nutrislim, I've tried just everything that you can even think of. I've tried. And granted, some of them make me feel good. I feel better, lots of energy. But after just the initial, like, water weight comes off, nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's awful. So, anyway, that's that. That's really, I guess, all I can say right now for PCOS. I can go into more later, and what I'm about to tell you, I will also kind of address some of the symptoms I listed. So, why do I want to get weight loss surgery? I'm just going to tell you physical and emotional things that have bothered me, but also I'm going to tell you that I realize that it's not just the surgery that's going to cause this. A lot of people don't realize this surgery is a tool. It is not a quick fix. It's not an easy decision. Just like the doctor said at the seminar that I went to, that you can go home and drink milkshakes. Do that every day. Stay within the portion amount that you could eat. But you know what? You're not going to lose weight, and you're probably going to gain weight, because even if you have the surgery, you have to exercise. You have to make the right choices. You have to follow guidelines. If you are not willing to put in the work, this is not the surgery for you. those that are watching that don't plan on having surgery but have family and friends that do, when they get that weight off, commend them. They have done something. It is amazing. You cannot just simply lose weight just by removing part of your stomach or putting a band on your stomach. That's not how it works. You actually have to put in the effort. It is a tool to help you lose the weight. So, that being said, I've been told that, and my research tells me, by having this surgery, I can possibly lose the weight and put my PCOS in remission. That's what I want, remission for my PCOS. That's the number one reason I want surgery, because, guys, I'm miserable. My PCOS is awful. I'll tell a few other things that some I haven't even ever told anybody. Probably the two worst things right now, I'll say that I'm at my heaviest. When I first started getting the signs of, the worst signs of PCOS, where I knew something was wrong, I probably got up to like 197. Then all of a sudden, from my normal weight, which I can't remember what it was at that time, I gained like 75 pounds, so which put me at like 240. Most of my, I would say, 20s and 30s, which I'm 36, have been 240 and up. Currently today, let's see, it's July 17th, 2016. I don't know what my weight was this morning, but I know last week I reached my absolute highest that I've ever been my whole life. 294 pounds. Yes, 294. That's 6 pounds from 300 pounds. Guys, I refuse. I can't. I'm not going to. It's time. So that's why I'm doing this. So a couple stories. First, several years ago, my husband, daughter, my youngest brother, and myself all went to Washington and several other places, and my best friend and her husband at the time lived in Virginia, and we met them at Six Flags. So we get on this roller coaster. The lap bar shuts down fine on me. I'm actually in a seat by myself, perfectly fine, any issues. Well, it kept giving the operator warning. So now at this time, everybody's seated. My whole family, all my friends, everybody's seated. My younger brother actually didn't ride the ride, but everybody else was seated on the ride, including people I don't know, people standing in line, people looking on. So the guy's like, "Oh, we have an error. It's at your seat. Can I get you to move over?" Move to a different one, same thing. I was asked to leave the ride. I was asked to leave the ride because my stomach, even though the latch bar went down, I was actually a safety hazard because I was too big. In the last couple of years, I've done a little more flying because we had lived in Texas for a little while. This particular plane was like the smallest seatbelts I've ever seen ever. Like, I couldn't get it fastened. So I'll be honest, I pretended to be asleep. Flight attendant called me out. "Ma'am, do you have your seatbelt fastened?" "Oh, no, sorry, fell asleep. I need a fastener." Awful. So now, anytime I go to get on an airplane, the first thing I do when I walk in, I stress from the time I know I'm booking the flight, from the time I go into the airport until I get on the plane. Because the minute I step on the plane, I say, "Hey, I need an, whatever they're called, attachment, extender belt for my belt." Guys, that's awful. You know, I'm not really hanging over the seat per se. It is a little uncomfortable when people are beside me. I prefer to be on the inside so that way I can kind of lean and give them some room. But then I spend my whole flight because I want to give them room. When you go out to eat, sit in a booth, I always stress, especially places that I know they have small booths, I'm like looking as soon as we walk in, okay, what booth are we going to? Am I going to be able to sit down? What side do I need to go on, sit on? And then can the booths be moved back? Is somebody behind me? Am I going to be able to slide my seat back to make more room? Other things are, I enjoy the outdoors, doing stuff with my husband. Certain things that we do require certain ways to dress. So we'll just say, like, If we're out in the woods and I need to wear camouflage, they don't make girls' clothes my size. And what they do that's my size is actually a lot smaller. I'm sure I could order online, but then you always run the risk. Okay, so then you order and it doesn't fit and you have to take it back to buy men's size. Like, it's ridiculous at the size I have to buy. And then I'm uncomfortable because their bodies are not like ours. Honestly, I mean, there's so much that goes on and on. When friends, family invite us to do stuff, then my first thought is, okay, what am I going to wear? How am I going to feel when I wear it? Am I going to be able to fit in whatever we're doing? Am I going to look ridiculous on this tube or in this canoe or on this boat because I'm huge? I can't even enjoy myself. We want to go to Universal and we want to go back to Disney. I'm at the point now that I feel like I'd be worried that I wouldn't be able to ride any of the rides. So it's just time, guys. It is time for a change, and I'm seriously planning on doing it. I'm in the first stages. I've gone to a seminar, waiting on my first consult. It's absolutely time to get this party started. So that being said, I hope that if you're watching this and you want to get the surgery, that it's an encouragement that do what makes you happy. Do what's going to make you feel better. If you're a family member or a friend of somebody that wants surgery, or you're a family or friend of me, I just want you to understand that I realize the risk I'm taking. I realize the complications that are possible. I realize the ins and outs. I understand that this is an ultimate life change. What I need you to understand is I realize that I understand what I'm doing. I have researched this decision. I am ready to live life. I'm not looking for a certain number on the scale. It's about the quality of my life. I want the life quality to be better and the quantity of years that I lived. If somebody was having trouble with their appendix, you wouldn't be like, oh, surgery's dangerous, don't get it out. No, because you know if the appendix ruptures, then things are going to get worse. That's how I feel about obesity. I feel like I need you to support me to go and get the surgery, because it's just like the appendix. Something I could get so many diseases that are caused simply because, not only, but one of the contributing factors is obesity. I don't want to have a stroke or a heart attack or hypertension or diabetes, and all of those things lead to something else. All of these things can definitely be triggered by obesity. And so I'm just asking for your support and your love and your kindness before, during, and after. I don't want you to treat me any different. Invite me to dinner. I mean, granted, right before and right after surgery, I will be on liquids until my stomach heals. Invite me to dinner. Invite me to cookouts. Let's get together and do things. I can still eat, guys. I can. I just have to choose better choices, which I need to do anyway, even without the surgery. Yeah, I'll probably be a little exercise crazy. It's okay. I love it as long as I'm healthy and not wild like I was before. It's a good thing. So again, I'm asking for support. Also, not just for me, but for other people, I need you to think outside of the box. When you see someone that's overweight, you need to realize that it's not always just that they're fat and lazy. That's just not always the case. So just take a step back and just realize that people are people, no matter their size. And sometimes you have to make drastic decisions and changes in your life. And from here on out, I plan on being a better me, no matter what it takes. Love you guys.